had to make a big decision, and that was we were in a position where we didn't owe that much on our house, and we had to be prepared to go into debt. And for me, that was a real, because we decided there's no point in paying to go to the ultimate if we're not prepared to do that. And for me, that was I felt quite sick thinking about it. And but then we made the decision we had to change something to make a difference. Make anything different in our life, we had to change. And so we decided to go ahead, and we've got absolutely no regrets at all.
Well, to that end, last weekend we had my cousin there and her husband, and we got to re-experience that ill feeling about debt, because that's exactly what they're facing, and they own their house outright.
What we actually did after that first ultimate, 6 months later, Andrew, at that time he was doing a contract, and after that finished, and he said, I don't want to go back to work. So then we were right in the deep end. We've got to make this work. And
it was a little bit of a panic there, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a panic, but not too bad. And with going to the ultimate again this last weekend, we have done the figures again, and we need to create some more cash flow. But really, we're in a good spot from not earning anything else outside of property for a year.
So we have, on a annualised basis, we have absolutely almost to the dollar replaced our income. And I don't know whether I'm allowed to say figures in this, but basically we went from about annualised 320 to 312, and that's the 312 is totally from property investments, and we've done that in 12 months.
Yeah.
Let's call it 18 months since we did the first ultimate.
Yeah. We had a big planning session in May last year. The project happened. We had a big planning session in December or November, December this last year, and we bought another property, and it was great. And then up until this last weekend, where we went back to ultimate, we were in a bit of a wishy-washy stage. We'd done some other stuff, but it was a little bit wishy-washy. Well, where are we going with this? And just going back and repeating ultimate, it has got us back on track again. We're still going to do some planning, but we are far more. We know which directions we're going in and which paths we're going to take. I can't emphasise that enough. The planning is, when you're really clear on what you're looking for, it turns up. It's absolutely fantastic that you guys send out the DVDs before you go to boot camp, because if I hadn't watched those first, I would have been lost. There's an awful lot of information to take in that boot camp, but if you've seen the DVDs before, you think, oh yeah, well that's that bit and that's that bit, and I was very thorough, took lots of notes and things like that too. So that certainly makes a difference. I think all that is fantastic.
There is an enormous amount of knowledge, and for argument's sake, there could be a 3-day session on strategies, and you could really look into a lot of examples and things like that. Having said that, there are lots of webinars to back all of that up. I must admit, from time to time I forget to go and look at the webinars. So, but by repeating and carrying on, you get that information. But for me, it's all about networking. It's all about the network itself, and I mean that as in a network, being able to meet people who might be struggling with the same thing or in a similar position. But it's also about support, and it's just this is how I'm feeling, I'm not quite certain about this, and all of a sudden somebody's had exactly the same thing. So it's about information and it's about support.